JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Police probing reported accidental shooting of soldier in Crossroads, St. Andrew. The police are investigating an incident in which a soldier was reportedly accidentally shot by a colleague in Crossroads, St. Andrew, on Tuesday afternoon. According to reports at 3:45, they were at Union Square when one of them reportedly attempted to clear his weapon and the gun discharged a round. The bullet reportedly hit his colleague, who is a private, in the leg. The injured soldier was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was admitted for treatment. Police searched for alleged gunman after fatal shooting in St. Catherine. Police in the St. Catherine North Division are searching for a man who allegedly shot and killed an unidentified man in Greendale, Spanish Town, on Monday. The victim is believed to be in his late 40s, approximately 6 feet 2 inches tall, of brown complexion, and was wearing a jeans and a white shirt at the time of the incident. According to reports, around 11:55 a.m., the man was standing outside a wholesale along the roadway when he was approached by a man armed with a handgun. The assailant reportedly brandished a weapon and shot the victim in the head before fleeing the scene on foot. The police were alerted, and the injured man was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The motive for the attack has not yet been established. Detectives from the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch are investigating the incident. Higgler found fatally shot in bed. A 55-year-old Higgler was found dead in his bed Wednesday morning. Elvis Moore, otherwise called Springer Super, a resident of Top Albany in Islington, had gunshot wounds to his upper body. According to reports, around 12:30 a.m., residents heard what sounded like gunshots coming from Moore's one-bedroom boardhouse. Upon checking on Moore around 5:45 a.m., a relative found that the door was forcibly open and Moore was lying in blood, lifeless. The police were alerted, and on their arrival, Moore was observed on his back in bed with gunshot wounds to the right side of his body. He was pronounced dead at the scene, according to the police, who also said there were no signs of robbery. Moore's death brings to 16 the number of murders in St. Mary since the beginning of the year. The St. Mary police are investigating and are assuring residents that all efforts are being made to bring those responsible to justice and maintain peace within the community. Police released sketch of suspect in $7 million robbery. The St. James police have released a composite sketch of a man who they believed was involved in a $7 million robbery at the intersection of Upper Beavan Avenue and the Market Circle in Montego Bay, St. James last month. According to reports on Tuesday, June 24, at 8:30 p.m., two men armed with handguns stopped and robbed a truck of approximately $7 million before fleeing on foot in the area. The matter was reported to the police, and based on descriptions given, a composite sketch of one of the men was generated. He is being asked to turn himself into the Montego Bay Criminal Investigation Branch or any police station immediately. Pump attendant robbed at gas station in Kingston Town, St. Catherine. The Guanaboville police in St. Catherine are investigating a robbery at a gas station in Biles, Kingston Town, on Tuesday night. According to reports, about 10:04 p.m., a black Subaru motor car drove up to the gas station and pulled up to a pump. The driver instructed the attendant to fill the tank, but the tank was being filled. A man in the back seat, his face covered with a black shirt, pointed a gun at the attendant and demanded the money in his possession. The attendant reportedly handed over $13,000. It was also ordered to fill the car's tank, which amounted to $8,200. The vehicle then sped away. The matter was reported to the police, and an investigation has been launched. Gang enforcer and triggerman cut down by police. An alleged member of the notorious Kings Valley gang, which operates out of Grange Hill, Westmoreland, was one of two men fatally shot during a reported clash with members of a police team in Limehall, St. Anne, early Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as 36-year-old Ricardo Hemmings, who once went by the monikers Junior and Black Oil. In recent times, Hemmings has been called Chin Mix for his distinctive bleach complexion, which gave him the appearance of someone of Chinese descent. According to police sources, Hemmings served as a triggerman and enforcer for the Kings Valley gang, which has been the subject of numerous police operations. It was also a person of interest for the police in several divisions, in addition to those in his home base of Westmoreland, as he was a non-contract killer and a long-standing and dangerous figure in Jamaica's criminal underworld. Hemmings first became a person of interest for the police in 2016, and in July of that year, an attempt was made to apprehend him in Green Island, Hanover. He reportedly fired at the police and escaped. Months later, Hemmings was identified as the shooter in an incident in which one man was left nursing gunshot wounds in Rock Spring, Hanover. In 2017, Hemmings was moved to the police wanted list after he was linked to the murder of Ricardo Stewart, otherwise called Manny, in Grange Hill. Since then, Hemmings has been linked to several other crimes, including a July 2020 incident in Grange Hill in which 4 people were shot. According to police sources, Hemmings managed to evade capture by radically altering his appearance. About 4 a.m. on Monday, the police launched a pre-dawn operation in Limehall where intelligence suggests that Hemmings was hiding. The police report that law enforcement personnel acting on a warrant in search of Hemmings approached a 2-bedroom house when 2 men attempted to flee from the rear of the premises. One of the men allegedly opened fire at the police, who returned fire, hitting one of them while the other escaped. As the police continued their operation, another man reportedly fired at them from inside the house. The cops said he returned fire and the man was injured. A .45 caliber pistol with a magazine containing 3 rounds was reportedly seized by the lawmen. Both injured men were taken to the St. Ansby Hospital, where they were pronounced dead. Up to Wednesday morning, the second man who was fatally shot remained unidentified. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom was notified and is conducting inquiries. Last December, the reputed leader of the Kings Alley gang, Derval Loki Williams, and his sidekick Christian Grant were sentenced to 8 years of plotting to murder prosecution witness while behind bars. They have appealed their conviction and the sentence. NCB employees sentenced to 12 months imprisonment for fraud. Arsenio Johnson, the National Commercial Bank employee accused of stealing close to $6 million from the institution, was sentenced on Tuesday to 12 months in prison. The 32-year-old retail support officer pleaded guilty when he appeared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. He has been charged with larceny as a servant and breaching the Proceeds of Crime Act and the Cybercrime Act. The police were called in after the alleged fraud was discovered at NCB's head office at the Atrium on Trafalgar Road in St. Andrew. It's reported that from January 2020, Johnson made several unauthorized transfers from NCB's suspense account to 2 accounts he's associated with. The police say, based on preliminary investigations, $5.8 million was stolen. An audit will be done to determine the exact amount unaccounted for. Woman charged after elderly woman's body found in Westmoreland. The Westmoreland police have launched an investigation after the mummified remains of an elderly woman were discovered at her home on Sunday. Her caregiver is accused of hiding the body for more than a year without alerting authorities. The deceased has been identified as Viola Destin. Her age and date of birth have not been confirmed. The police believe she died on December 10, 2023. However, rather than reporting the death, the woman's caregiver, 54-year-old Gina Robinson, is alleged to have hidden the body inside a room at their shared residence in Holdhope District, Little London. Driven by what she described as a divine vision, Robinson kept the body of Destiny in her home for nearly 2 years, claiming she could not report the death because the woman wasn't safe and she didn't want her to go to hell. The gruesome discovery was made on Sunday after one of Destiny's relatives reportedly became suspicious and contacted the police. Her decomposed body was found lying on a mattress in the home, still wrapped in a sheet and partially covered by tarpaulin. She said God spoke to her in a vision and told her not to bury the body or report it, and that the woman wasn't safe, and that's why she had to keep her from being buried so she can be saved. She don't want her to go to hell, a source disclosed. I don't think she had any close relative in Jamaica. The woman that was taking care of her was her caregiver, who she met through the church, the source said. Even after nearly 2 years, parts of the body were still intact, raising questions about how it was preserved. Skin was still on the bones when you look at it, so she must have done something to keep the body. Maybe she did have embalming fluids or something, the source suggested. The woman in the bed lay down in the sheet same way. There was a tarpaulin there as well, the source added. Given the advanced state of decomposition, the source noted, maybe an autopsy cannot be done based on the state it's in, but maybe get a toxicology report done. The scene was processed, and the body was removed to the morgue, where a post-mortem examination is pending. Robinson has since been charged with failure to report the death of a person, preventing the lawful burial of a corpse, and attempting to pervert the course of justice. Truck driver Noel Maitland's case begins testimony. A truck driver was allegedly contracted by Constable Noel Maitland in July 2022 to remove a settee from his apartment in St. Andrew, has taken the witness stand in the Home Circuit Court trial of the policeman. The truck driver explained in court to prosecutors and the 7-member jury that in July 2022, he was given a work to do by Maitland. The witness, who owns a pickup truck, said he was outside a popular hardware store in Kingston where he solicits customers when a colleague, identified only as Carlos, now deceased, called him and told him about the job. He said that when he arrived, Maitland, who was a stranger to him at the time, was sitting nearby in his car. According to the witness, Maitland told him he wanted a sofa picked up from New Kingston and delivered to Halfway Tree. We get a work from Noel to pick up a settee. Me ask if it's a 2-piece or 3-piece or what. Noel answered and said it is a 1-piece and him need to move it. We come to an agreement to the price before we move. Me ask him how far I was going and him say Halfway Tree Road. Noel said he'll be picking it up at New Kingston. I asked where in Halfway Tree and him said nearby. Instead of drive and follow him. So me drive and follow him. It was me and Carlos. Carlos was in the front part of the truck with me. Noel was driving a hype vehicle, a nice vehicle. I think it was a Beamer or Honda, the witness said. When asked what date this was, the witness said he could not recall the exact date, but remembered it was in July 3 years ago. Maitland is on trial for the murder of his girlfriend, Donnelly Donaldson, 24, a popular social media personality, swimwear entrepreneur and customer service representative who was reported missing on July 13. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.